Hey, my name's Camilla. So, there's something bad I did. I'm now super ashamed of it. Anyway, I'm a different person now, and I'm telling you guys this so you hopefully won't make the same mistake I did. I was the popular girl in high school, along with my best friend, Lisa. Both of us were pretty well liked, but the other kids seemed to like me more than her. I guess she knew this, and it meant we low-key competed against each other on everything, from wearing the cutest outfits to getting the hottest boys' attention. I suppose it kinda made us frenemies. So prom was only a few weeks away, and I had the prom queen crown in my reach. But then I heard a few lame rumors circulating about me, such as how I'd kissed Rita Stone's boyfriend behind the bike shed, and how I'd been the one writing the really mean comments about the other girl on the bathroom cubicle wall. I tried to shrug these ridiculous rumors off, but it seemed like everyone else believed them. Worse still, I had this inkling that Lisa, who was sickeningly sweet to my face, had something to do with the rumors. After all, I know how eager she was to be prom queen. Things went on for a few days. Everyone whispered and pointed at me as I walked by. I was so mad, especially as Lisa continued enjoying life and pretending to pity me. I'd had enough. So that day during lunch break, I stomped straight towards her in the cafeteria. We had a huge fight, yelled at each other. I then threw my carton of milk at her, then carried my lunchbox to another table in the corner. I was sitting there alone, crying, when someone tapped on my shoulder. It was Aubrey, asking me to join her table. Aubrey and I go way back, as she was my old childhood friend. But ever since middle school, she's a bit of a loser, so I hadn't spoken to her in a while. I agreed and followed her to another table in tears. Her group of friends are a bunch of nerds, and I've probably teased some of them before. Awkward. As I sat down, I noticed this one guy, Scott, who was also kinda out of place. He's too good looking for this table. He made hanging out with the losers so much easier. As we all were chatting, I've already thought about how me and Scott would make such a cute couple, and we could rule this group. Of course, I was still so mad with Lisa, so I came up with a plan to get my revenge. I asked the nerd crew of Aubrey to help me ruin the prom. If I couldn't be prom queen, then I wanted to destroy it so Lisa couldn't have it either. I convinced them by going on and on about how they should stand up for themselves and defeat the popular mean girl, Lisa. As her latest victim, I guess I've delivered a pretty inspirational speech that got them all hyped up to join me. The nerd crew's smart, so it'd be easy for them to mess up the electrical system at prom, switch the music playlist to something funny, ruin the drinks, pour down a bucket of water on the winners as they announce prom king and queen on stage. While preparing for the big day, I hung out with them more and more, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun, and I kinda liked them. They didn't do the whole fake friendship thing like I'd had to endure with Lisa, and it made life so much easier. Along with my revenge plan, I also had another operation going. Scott. Remember? I decided to make a move and flirt with him every time we met. I saw Aubrey secretly peek at him from time to time, so I once jokingly asked her if she liked him, and she blushed and blurted out a tiny, yes. Poor Aubrey, as he was way out of her league. One day, I asked Scott to accompany me to go buy some stuff for our prank. While we were in the car, I asked him why he joined the group, as they're all losers. And he said it's actually because he liked Aubrey, so hanging out with this group meant he could spend more time with her. Plus, the others were actually fun, too. I got a little mad that he actually liked her, so I told him, such a pity, but you're not Aubrey's type, as she's into girls. I reached across and touched his arm, and then told him that if we dated, we'd be the hottest couple. I'd be the most popular girl again, and he too would have the fame he deserved. Forget those nerds, as they were dragging us both down. He stayed calm and told me to stop, but I kept flirting with him until he dropped me off at my house. Finally, the big day came, and I arrived late to prom because I only wanted to see the grand finale of Lisa being soaked on stage. As I walked into the venue, I expected it to be a mess. Flickering lights, lame music, and people complaining about the drinks. But everything looked fine. I didn't get it, so I found one of the nerds and asked them how the plan's going. but he just shrugged and danced away. I was a bit furious. But then it was prom queen announcing time, which, unsurprisingly, Lisa won. I excitedly waited for the humiliating water shower to follow, but it didn't happen. What was going on? We'd had our group meeting yesterday to make sure everything was ready. I was so mad. I screamed at a guy from the nerd group, and he said maybe I should check it myself. I then got on stage to check when everyone was starting to leave. But then, as I looked up, the water bucket fell on me! I screamed so loud, everyone froze and turned around looking at me. I stood there soaked and humiliated in front of the entire school! Then, out of nowhere, the whole group of nerds, including Aubrey, gathered in front of me and said that I deserved this. It turned out Aubrey and Scott have been dating for a while now, and he had told her everything I'd said. Aubrey said she'd given me a second chance to be in her life again, and I hadn't changed at all, and that I was still the same selfish girl. Now I'm in college, and these days I'm a much nicer person. It was all in the past. I've apologized to Aubrey, but I am still ashamed when I think about it. I hope you learn a lesson from my mistake and don't mess up like I did. Being popular's great and all, but I now know that some things are far more important.